Hey everybody, Regina Andler here, and it is time for Coffee with Regina. And today we have my friend Eric Zuley on with me, Dr. Eric Zuley. He's an award-winning trend-setting marketing maverick, and he's created a full-service social solution network ecosystem that's revolutionizing branding and marketing. It's absolutely amazing. You're going to love this conversation. He's been seen on Fox, NBC, CBS, over 14 magazine covers. Eric is all over the place. He's a really cool guy. And he's coached hundreds of successful podcasters on their elevator pitches and how to monetize the microphone. And one really cool thing about Eric is that he's raised millions of dollars for nonprofits through his nonprofit eZWay Cares. And he's a universal peace ambassador for 150 countries, and he has been officially recognized as the youngest digital Dick Clark. How cool is that? Welcome, Eric.
Well, hey, Regina, thank you so much for having me, and it's always fun to hear people talk about like what I don't even think about it. I just keep moving forward and trying to open more doors for people. But like it's cool to hear the accomplishments and stuff, and it's great to be on your show and say hello to your audience.
Thank you. Our audience here is mostly coaches, consultants. We have all kinds of coaches and consultants, speaker coaches. We have authors. We have tons of people here. And knowing what I know about you, I know that what you have is an absolute must for these people to check out. So before we get into your platform and that kind of thing, tell me about this whole youngest Dick Clark thing.
Oh, well, for a long time, I've been building my brand and interviewing a lot of people. I started in 2002, built a YouTube channel that now today has over 14 million viewers, and people like Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie and Johnny Depp and Down that are on the channel. And I've built about 5 other channels other than that. And because of being an interviewer, because of having the power of the media, I was invited to a friend of mine named Shelley Hunt, which some of your audience might know. She's a world-renowned speaker, and she's known for successes by design. And she's been recognized by multiple presidents, on and on. And she had a New Year's Eve celebration at her house. And this was, I want to say, 13, 14 years ago. And me and my dad are just kind of hanging out, and there's all these really super important people that are there, but like I don't know who anybody is, and I don't really care. And we're there, by the bar, and there's this guy that's just there, drinking tea or something, and it just seemed like a very unique guy, and we just started talking to him, and it was a little bit of broken English when we were talking to him, but we started to get familiar with it and what he does, and he didn't tell us anything about who he was in any possible way. It was just hey, I just came to America last year, and I'm all about family, and we're about the eZWay family. If you look above, by the way, I love that you used our background. That's so cool of you.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And we just got to know this guy, and long story short, it turns out that this was Dick Clark's partner, co-producing partner on a project called the Family Film Awards, which recently, a couple weeks ago, was just on CBS with Adam Sandler and all these other amazing people recognizing film projects for family. And basically in 1996, I think the Family Film Awards started with Charleston Heston. They were honoring Bob Hope and like Tom Hanks and Sandra Bullock and on and on and on. And so he still has this video on YouTube as being the founder with Dick Clark of the Family Film Awards. And he's done numerous other awards for a long time. I think they're going on like their 30th annual award show or whatever. And so he was Dick Clark's co-producing partner, very close to Dick Clark. And on Dick Clark's deathbed, Dick Clark kind of passed the torch to him in a way, and his wife. Wow. And so this was one of the representations for Dick Clark's productions, Dick Clark's rocking, all the stuff that Dick Clark did. And this gentleman is just a world-renowned person making a big difference. And so he has seen, I got my honorary doctorate in humanitarian services. I've helped thousands of people get visibility and be able to make a bigger impact. And he's seen the love that I have for my dad and my family, and the love that I have for the community. And that's one thing that Dick Clark really did, was he would do a lot of productions, a ton of productions, a lot of events, but he would do these events to help other people. And that's what I've been doing since 2002. I've done over 2,000 events in my career. And I guess he kind of recognized that I'm kind of following in the footsteps in a way on a digital perspective. And there was one day they did an event, and it's on YouTube. I can show it to you guys. You know, it literally he's giving me he's honoring me, shaking my hand, and you know, it was just a really incredible experience. In fact, I just found it, so your audience can kind of see a little visual if we can get this going here. So yeah, so this was the day that's him, Dr. Giuliani, and this is like the Family Film Awards, and then you know it was at a private suite at the Universal Hilton, and he's literally honoring me as the official digital, you know, Dick Clark. And there's some really important people in the room. It's just always nice to be recognized, you know.
That is so cool. That is so interesting. And you've been on the stage with some really cool people. So you've been on with let's see, I have a list of Les Brown, Greg Reed, Jeff Hoffman, Brian Tracy. You've been on stage with tons of really cool people.
Yeah,
So
it's always a blessing to share stage with you know, iconic figures that have made such an impact in so many people's lives.
yeah. So let's switch gears over to what it is that you do for your business. Meaning, you know, I mean, I love all this philanthropic information because, you know, that's just amazing that you are able to do what you're able to do there. And let's talk about this platform that you have, because I'll tell you, when I first met you, oh gosh, I think the first time I saw you was maybe 2 years ago at another networking event where I first connected with you. And I started checking out your platform, and it is really cool. There is so much stuff that you do. So when it comes to your platform, it's kind of, you got this whole thing that if people aren't so enamored with places like Facebook and that kind of thing, you built a whole community for people. Tell us about what it is and what it's all about.
Well, the community is called eZWay Family, and as you can see, the logo there on the top left, there's two hands, you know, shaking each other, and we've been building for the last 15 years the idea of the digital handshake. And I started out streaming. I'm a big streamer. I've you know, done it on a very professional level where I was paid up to six figures to do it, as well as just doing it as a hobby. But every time I would stream, it would always be very interactive, and I'd get a lot of people that would come onto the stream. But what I did was I did this whole connector introduction thing, and I'd like, oh my God, look, Regina's on there. Oh my man. And then I'd point out people like, and I'd connect people during that stream, real time interactive, and people would really meet each other. And this was done on Facebook or LinkedIn or, you know, at what the platforms were at the time. And I thought to myself, I'm like, you know, I've been connecting people digitally for so long. I've been connecting people physically for so long, doing these events and stuff. I'm like, you know, and I'm always doing it on someone else's platform. And I'm like, I want to create my own thing, you know, and I've always had the idea to create like a social network similar to Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram, but also have all the solutions that you need behind it. Because it's one thing to have a social platform or be on Zoom, but it's another thing to do the follow up that's really necessary to get the conversion. And so I started just really connecting with all the people that I know, and I probably hit 3 Zooms a week. And now I don't do it anymore. Now I have a VA team that really hits a lot of these things, but we're collecting 100 leads a week on just going to Zooms and stuff, but meeting and really incredible people across the whole world that have just really incredible software, AI software. And like Tom, my friend Tom has this thing called Chat Bridge that you can take your chat from Zoom and convert it into Excel spreadsheets. And then we have the CRM software, we have the texting software. And so what I did, in fact, I'll share my screen here real quick and show your stuff, because you're one of our members. And so what I did was I created what's called the eZWay Wall of Fame. And this is your profile. So anybody that's watching can see, you got to add your bio there, but you got your social media in there, your website, and you go to your profile on the Wall of Fame, and then when you click on connect, it'll take people to you and directly connect with you. Click on message and they can directly connect with you. Eventually we'll have the phone call thing working, but you go to your profile and you can build up your community, you build up your situation. And just like most social networks, you can build up community, you can build groups, and you can create community. And so many people are starting to do that now, and they're really meeting, like the Mega Mix Expo. We just were with like 500 something businesses at the Santa Anita racetrack, and it was a great time. But it really kind of keeps records of all the cool stuff we do. And then if you go to sites, there's an actual back end dashboard that manages all this stuff. And as you can see, there's a lot of different sites that we have. We have TV, magazine, images, podcasts. Our podcasting is incredible. But it's just a really good way for everything to be packaged and condensed into one simple place for people to have that digital handshake effect. So I just enhanced upon what I was originally doing with streaming, and just really built a platform that has an amazing affiliate situation attached to it. And my goal is to have 10,000 people make $100,000 a year. And we have about 2,700 people now. And it's also a very private network. We're not trying to be a Facebook or a LinkedIn or Instagram. We're trying to be our own eZWay family. But the people that you meet inside of the eZWay family are very, very quality people that can change lives.
Yeah, and I know I just joined into the group recently, which is why there's not so much on mine yet. And I'm actually really excited about starting to use that. It's kind of like the insider group. So, you out on Facebook and the other social media platforms, you have your groups that you work with, the people that you, friends, members, community, and all that kind of thing. And then your platform is kind of like, here's where I'm going to help. I'm going to bring all my insiders, and I'm going to help them, even more to grow and to use that platform to help them expand and grow. What I'm hearing from you is that it's all about a paying it forward kind of thing. It's the help me to help you to help them, and it just kind of goes around and around and around.
Yeah, I tell people, if you were to look at a business B2B perspective, we're like the Roku, and then other people are the Netflix, and then you have like a network of like a Netflix of networks. There's so many incredible people. Like, for instance, you mentioned Jeff Hoffman, who I spoke on the stage with, which is kind of like my mentor and a very good friend of mine, and he's the co-founder of Priceline and all the stuff he's known for. But he's also known for the I think it's America's Entrepreneurs Network. Like it's hundreds of thousands of top flight entrepreneurs, coaches, speakers that are 6-figure earners all the way up to 10-figure earners. And we're tapped into someone like him that has his network, which is exponential. I mean, the biggest people in the world come to him for advice. And so just that one connection, it's the network behind those connections. And these are just friends of mine that I'm sharing with our eZWay family to help them grow. And, I just worked really hard in keeping that database and building that data. And then we teach a lot of people how to turn data into dollars. And we have all the vehicles to help you do it. Like the mega pitch party you see here in the background, which you'll be joining us tomorrow. We're looking forward to hearing your pitch.
Yeah, so for everybody who has not heard of Eric and his mega pitch party yet, now you know. This is a really, really cool networking event where you can go. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, if you're not a paying member of eZWay Network in the real insider group, you can join for free, you can come for free, and you get a 20-second, basically elevator pitch that you can would share out to I don't know how many people you usually have on your pitch parties.
Well, we get an average of about 50 to 150 live, and thousands that watch on Facebook, YouTube, and we have a television network as well, which exponentially has really been growing lately. And so when you get on the pitch party, and yeah, it's actually 45 seconds because it's Valentine's Day. We're showing for the first time ever, we're showing, extra love without having to pay for it. And we have our television network, which is on Roku, which has 75 million subscribers, and many other syndications. But we created the Pitch TV channel. And so all those pitch parties, in fact, you are on television, Regina, and you probably don't even know about it. So all those pitch parties, every single pitch party we've done, we're putting on national television. And we're just getting a lot of excited people because they don't even know that they're on television. And then when they receive an email or a notification or something that tells them, hey, you're on Roku, same like you go to Walmart or Target or Best Buy and you buy a smart TV. I mean, that's what Roku's on. And we put some really professional editing into it, and the mega pitch party is just really starting to grow now. And so like people don't realize, but this thing is televised. It's not just a thing on on Zoom. It's a live interactive thing where people are getting like amazing results, but it's on television. It's really, and we have a decent amount of subscribers that are getting emails when we put anything new on. We have films on here and on podcasts, and we got to get into the new podcast network thing that we're doing. But if you get a chance to come on our stage like tomorrow, let's say anybody that's watching right now, you can come on, go to eZWay Pitch Party, letter E, letter Z, eZWayPitchParty.com. When you register, make sure you put Regina's username in the part where it says enter your invite code, and Regina's username is Regina Andler.
Yep.
And then you're able to, not only, we call it next level networking, Regina. It really is, because you're able to network with these next level type of people. And we do this. We're going to be moving it and changing it to once a month so we can really take the time and focus and help people that really need the help, because there is a little bit of technology help that people need to use a new platform and stuff. But you're going to be on this like massive mega stage, and we have over 250 people that are going to be involved with a new newspaper we're getting ready to put out in conjunction with our magazine. So there's going to be a lot of traffic, and I think a lot of so we're doing the job for people to get the lead generation and help their business. And if you do, yes, it is free. To answer your question, it is 100% free to come on and check it out and pitch and advertise yourself, get some free promotion. And the biggest thing, the chat, right? When you're on Zoom and you're pitching real time, and especially if you have us and our team help you to fine tune and perfect your pitch so you get more results in the chat. But it's really that interactive chat when you're pitching and you're saying, like, for instance, hey, I'm Regina and I have Coffee with Regina and I have this book and I would love to have you guys learn a little bit more about me. And in exchange, and this is something we teach, I'll give you guys a little sneak peek. In exchange, if you do respond to me and you reach out to me, I have a network of 5,000 people or whatever it is, and I will post you to my network for free, right? And something like that, you'd be surprised how many more new people are going to come into your network, which are all potential leads, all potential new buyers, new sales for whatever it is your offer might be. And because it's really truly a community and it's like a family, that works really, really well for everybody. And that's why we have an average of 50 guaranteed people all the way up to 150 people coming in. Plus we give away up to, thousands of dollars in marketing and branding benefits. You love the wheel of opportunity. People are loving that. We have a new thing where you spin a wheel. We call it the wheel of names. And I want to give a shout out to my friend Tina D. Lewis, who's a major speaker as well. I learned this from her, from being on one of her things, and it's called the wheel of names. And so you can spin this wheel, and then it'll just land on somebody that's entered, and they'll win, like, let's say a back cover of a magazine or something, or whatever it is. It's just it's gamified. It's gamified networking, which is really, really fun, and people seem to be digging it.
And that's the really cool thing that I love about what you do, because, I go to lots of different virtual networking events, and I want to say this. I guess it's Valentine's Day today. We'll say it with love. Some of them are pretty boring, and it's literally just everybody pitching, and nobody wants to stick around for 2 hours with everybody just pitching their stuff, right?
No.
It's We're interested in hearing things. However, in yours, yeah, we're talking about that, and it's also being broken up with all these fun things. So it's more of an event. It's not just a networking thing. It's a much larger event. That's one of the things I really love about your pitch parties.
Well, if you look up my IMDb, and here's another little insider tip for your audience. If you're not using IMDb and you don't have an IMDb, you need to make sure that you have an IMDb. And what IMDb is IMDb stands for Internet Movie Database. And if you look up my IMDb, I'm a pretty known producer. We're working on a project right now at Dream Cinema Productions that has Mark Hamill from Star Wars, and we have another production we're working on. We're in talks with Denzel Washington for directing, and Tom Hanks and things like that. And so we do real productions. And this is just an idea. If you guys are looking at my screen on some of the podcasts and award shows and some of the productions that we do. And so this is another value that you get from being on the pitch party, because we put it on our actual TV network. And then because you're on that stage, you're able to get those IMDb credits. So that's another real big one, and an important one, because IMDb also will rank on Google. A lot of people don't know this, but IMDb is actually one of the most powerful ways to rank on Google. So if you search my name, IMDb is always going to be the first thing that comes up, and it's what brings your actual content that people read about you, to learn about you right away. That comes from IMDb, right? And so the reason I bring IMDb up is because IMDb is a really important factor, and it gives you credibility as a producer. And so I say that to say that I'm a producer. I'm a true producer. I've worked with the co-founder of E! Entertainment Television. I've awarded him. I've worked with the vice president of Warner Brothers. I've worked with the president of Sony. I'm still friends with he's retired now, but he was the president of Sony Distribution for like 30 years. And I've been around the biggest and the best in the business. And so I've absorbed and I've learned a lot in production. And so I don't want to just do an event on Zoom. I want to do a production that goes on television. There's a difference. And when you do a production, people stay entertained. That's why they'll stay there for 3-4 hours sometimes. And it depends on how many people we have. Sometimes we have to go longer. We try to keep it 2 hours, but it is a full-fledged production. The introduction alone is very enticing. But what's really interesting about the pitch party, Regina, is it's the software. I showed you guys a small, for instance, of the software. It's the follow-up and the results that you get. We've had up to $30,000 in sales in 3 days from the follow-up afterwards that we've created from a stage. And if you go to eZWayEvents.com from our network, you'll see that the actual it's almost like an Eventbrite, and you'll see all of our pitch parties are there. We actually have about 5 different pitch parties: one for authors, one for IMDb, one for music. There different genres. The Secret Knock, you mentioned Greg Reed. We partnered up with them, and all these different other entities that are big entities. This is the pitch party coming up. So if you go to eZWayEvents.com, you'll see not only our pitch party. This is the authors pitch party coming up at the end of this month, but you'll see all the different events that we have coming up, and the 2,700 members and what they have and their events and stuff. And so it just really is a powerful platform, especially if you guys are watching right now and you're going, oh, this is interesting. Do you have an event? Do you have a podcast? We're going to boost that and put it out to our audience and our network.
Yeah, so let's talk about a little bit about podcasts, because I know we have a lot of coaches and consultants who have started their own podcasts. And, podcasts are a great way. I know there's like millions and millions of podcasts out there. And so in order for your podcast to actually stand out, you really need to do something unique with it. And tell us about let's talk about podcasts for a minute.
Well, podcasting is audio or visual. It's broadcasting your message in a unique way. And what we teach is how to do a true production behind the podcast. Like, for instance, we're on StreamYard right now, and you're watching us on StreamYard. there's an actual studio on StreamYard, and there's little boxes where you can click on those boxes, and it'll bring up an introduction, or it'll bring up images. And then, you can make a lot of money through product placement if you set up your production in a certain manner, as well as commercials. You could say like, hey, we're going to get back to this next segment after this commercial break, and then that commercial pays you $12,000 for the year, or whatever it is. And so we actually have a platform inside of the eZWay network, which is dedicated to podcasters, and this is an idea of the front end. So all of our members have podcasts, and they add their podcast to our platform. And this is an example of one of our members, Carol Register, and her partner Alex. They have a podcast called Unleashed and Unstoppable. And you can go to their website. Well, they got to set up their website, right? But you can get subscribers from their podcast. People can share on their social media. They can embed their player, whether it's audio or visual. It could be a YouTube, it could be a Vimeo, it could be an audio podcast. It goes to iHeartRadio, and you can get into our syndication and our distribution. You can post your updates, you put your about, you can get guests. People can request to be guests on our platform. They can request to be advertisers, and then you can go into the back end of the podcast side of things, and you can create your podcast. You can post statuses, you can see the analytics, you can monitor and manage your guests, and you can get advertisers, and you can find high profile guests that come in to your podcast. So we built and this will be AI'd pretty soon. We built a full system that helps you find advertisers, so you can monetize the microphone, and you can get bigger guests, so you can get a larger audience, so advertisers pay attention to your podcast. And we're getting ready to launch a massive distribution, because we have a lot of distribution. I don't even want to go into how many partners and what we have. But that's one of our biggest focuses, Regina, is we really want to get the 2,700 high quality members that we have and turn them all into podcasts and help them broadcast that message out there that much more. And then by being that powering entity, obviously we're reaching more people to help our members.
Eric, I have to say, you are most likely the most connected person I have ever met in my life. and when you think about it, I mean, that's what this message really is all about. It's about getting in front of more people so that they can see who you are, what you do. And, right now, I'll just, it might be going off a little bit. However, just follow me for a minute here. There's this big thing out there right now with coaches and consultants about all the fake gurus that are out there. Now, using something like your platform, that kind of thing, when you are committed to doing what you do and you do it well, you do stuff like join Eric's network, because that is one of the things that really sets you apart from the crowd.
Yeah, no, there are a lot of wannabes out there, and I mean the word expert and strategist are starting to get diluted, but it's really, it's the edification, the credibility behind you. You got to really look people up when they say that they're an expert. What qualifies them as an expert? How many people have they made money? How many people have they enhanced their brand? How many people have they gotten results for? And really relationship is relationship equity. It's your equity of your business. It's what makes your business valuable. And I think that our relationship equity is strong. And I think that, being the fact that I've been around for 24 years, I have the accolades. You can Google, it's all proven. It's just going to help anybody scale in a massive way if they're part of our network, because they're going to meet very high quality people in every genre, from coaches, authors, speakers, to award presenters, to producers, to engineers, to technology people, business people, lawyers, attorneys, real estate agents, you name it. It's a variety of people. But we actually built a category within our directory too, so you can really narrow in on your niche and meet those specific people that you want to connect with. And if you have a podcast, you're going to open up all those doors. That's another thing we teach, Regina, is how to leverage and resource. We call it logo leveraging within your podcast, as well as how to use your podcast to open up doors. You mentioned all these amazing people I've been involved with. I'm involved with those people because of the microphone and the power that it has, that's behind it. That's the reason that they open their doors to me. And so now I'm at the point where there's nothing I can't touch. And if I can't touch them, someone in my network can. And then I can get a relationship with someone in my network and their relationship because of the power of the microphone, because of the distribution, because of the quality and the branding. That's another thing we do too, is we make you look, make you shine online, is what we say. And your perception is everything. The way that your stuff looks is everything. Your the first impression when you walk into an office, you have typically 6 seconds for a website. You have a minute or so when you first walk in. That first impression is really everything. And if you have the community, if you have the power of the numbers behind you, a lot of times people don't say no. So we just help to build you the power of the numbers like that and make you look the part.
And so you said something important there, and I don't want people to get confused about, it's all about people who are already already have the numbers and already successful. If you're just starting out and you're saying, okay, well, I just started my business not too long ago. I know I have a proven methodology that I know works if they implement it. And I have a handful of people who have been successful with it, and I'm looking to build that. So it's sometimes a catch-22 that it's okay, well, I don't have, thousands of people that I can say, oh, I've helped thousands of people. I've helped maybe 5 people. And if as a coach, if you're marketing, people go, all right, she's only helped 10 people, 5 people, 100 people. And this person helped, thousands of people. So I want to go to the person who helped thousands.
Mm-hmm.
You're kind of at that catch-22. So going to networking events like the pitch party is a way to help get connected so that you can grow that base and bring more people to you, so you can prove to them that you're good at what you do, and then grow from there. Because like you said, Eric, I heard you say it a couple times now, it's when you started, you didn't have any of these connections. It was you and the microphone and the power of the microphone that helped you get the credibility that you needed. So now you have helped thousands of people.
Yeah, the power of the microphone is the outreach, and then it's what you do with that microphone. I mean, I want to get into so much the knowledge that I have of how to resource and leverage a microphone is unprecedented. But like for instance, I'm wearing Kay Coven jewelry right now, and this is an idea of product placement, and this is actually Al Pacino's stepmom's jewelry line, and it's one of our clients, Kay Coven jewelry, and the fact that I can wear a Pacino piece of jewelry and I can mention that is edification. It's credibility. The social media, when you want to do business with somebody, they're going to research you. They're going to go on Google. They're going to look at your website. They're going to look at how many followers do you have. And if you have 5 followers, if you have 100 followers, and then they have other choices and other options to do business with someone else that has thousands of followers, most likely people are going to go with the better choice online. And so it is really important that you check out, basically. That little verified blue check helps a lot too. And so these are all things that we basically help people with to be edified and have that third party validation. It's all very important. It's going to be a matter of, are you going to close the deal or not? Because after you talk to somebody, sometimes if you're really good at getting rapport and things like that, you can get the deal. But typically people are going to do the research and they're going to go with what checks out to them and has that edification. And so the followers are extremely important. And when you get involved in our community, you can see that the numbers are real. Everybody's profiles, numbers go. It's all very organic. And so, you'll meet influencers in our network that have 1 million or more followers. I was just at the social media awards and I presented an award there. I reconnected with all these amazing social media influencers. And these are friends that I knew back in the day that have 1 million, 3 million, 5 million, 10 million followers. I mean, 1,000 followers is a lot of people, but imagine 10 million people following somebody and being able to tap into them and be able to maybe even get them on your podcast. Now those 10 million followers, hey, I'd be happy to get 100 of those followers following my podcast. And that's what kind of happens when you start tapping into all these different resources and relationships. And the mega pitch party is a really great way to do that.
Yeah, and I know we are just over time, and
Oh,
so
no.
I know it goes quick, right? and so I really want to encourage everybody that we put this background on for those of you who are regulars to Coffee with Regina. I know there's a bunch of you out there that are going to catch the replay. You've never ever seen me put a background on Coffee with Regina before, ever. And
I'm the first one. Woohoo!
Eric has his mega pitch party. It is absolutely amazing. I absolutely want you to come check it out. It is free. So go to eZWayevents.com, eZWay-pitch-party, And you can sign up for tomorrow night's event, which is February 15, 2024. If you're catching this on a replay, just go out to eZWayEvents.com and see what's coming up next, because there's always something new happening out in Eric's network.
Yeah, and thank you so much for having me, Regina. It was a pleasure, and on Valentine's Day of all days, and this is a special day for me. It's actually my girlfriend, my other half's anniversary. This is the day that we met. We're going on 8 years, and she's you know, I hope asleep because I kind of woke her up this morning, but happy Valentine's Day to everybody watching. I hope that you're sharing you know, that special time with special someone, or if you don't have that special someone, remember, God loves you. You know, your family loves you. Like, Valentine's Day isn't just about having a relationship with an intimate type of relationship. It's about the love that you feel in your heart. So if you feel love in your heart, then this is a really special day. And it was just a lot of fun. And you know, I forgot to drink my coffee, but it's been sitting here. And you know, so happy Valentine's Day to everybody. And we hope to see you guys, you know, check us out. We hope to see, you know, I hope that we can benefit some of your viewers watching, and I really appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. And with regards to Valentine's Day, I will let you know that I did hug my dog and say Happy Valentine's Day this morning. Just
There you go.
saying.
Hug that special animal if you're an animal lover.
So thanks everybody for joining us today. Come and join us next time on Coffee with Regina. Eric, it has been a pleasure.
Oh, thank you. No, it was the pleasure's all mine, Regina. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And if you guys want to get in touch with us, just text eZWay, letter E, letter Z, WAY, to the number 59925 if you're local, or like Regina said, eZWayEvents.com. We'll see you there. And again, thank you, Regina.
Thank you so much. We'll see you all next time. Bye for now.